that doesn't. This one cuts my head off. But,
Have you put the grades in yet?
yeah. All right, so this is ninth grade lit. We're going to spend a few minutes for the last few minutes looking at scripture. We'll do that tomorrow if we need to. I am going to introduce the next book and give you a copy, so we'll do that this week as well. What did we say revenge was? Anybody give me a definition of revenge? All right, we'll go Huff. I saw you.
Revenge, there's like a level to both of them of like the injustice versus like justice. So revenge is like getting back at someone just for your own, it's about you, it's not
Yes.
like the just and right thing to do. And we talked about how like only God has only God knows what is like only God can make just revenge, because it does say that he will have vengeance, but he is the only one who can
Do you
determine.
have a scripture in front of you or anybody that supports that? Because that's what you're going to need to do Friday. Everything you said was correct, but I want a scriptural support for that. So anybody have a scripture that says only God can do?
I said, like, I don't know if this is an example, but it says do not seek revenge, or kind of.
Where are you? Specific. I need to know specifics.
It's Romans 12:19.
Yes. Romans 12:19, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. So that's only God. Now, what I don't want is to get 15 papers that have the exact same scriptures. You had 15 scriptures. I want you to be able to pick from a variety. Not, okay, we're all going to write the same thing. I don't want to do that. I am going to put some things on the board, but you get to choose from them.
Can you use a different verse that was not on here that resonates with?
If you have, yes, of course.
Okay.
As long as it's related. So that's one of the key verses. I think it comes from Leviticus 19:18. Most of what Jesus said, what's in the New Testament, a lot of it's from the Old Testament. So if you really want to understand the New Testament, read the Old Testament, because in Leviticus 19 it says, you shall not take vengeance. Even it says, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. That's, Jesus said that, but also it's in Leviticus. So what are some other verses that?
Sorry, what verse is that, Leviticus?
19:18.
Oh.
Yes.
Hebrews, the last one.
Read it. Tell me.
For we know whom, okay, no, sorry. For we know him who says, it is mine to avenge, I will repay, and then the Lord will avenge the people. So ultimately, God is going to judge the ones he did wrong.
Yes. Remember, I asked you to write the verse down and then interpret the verse. So the verse says, we know him who said, you just read this, vengeance is mine, I will repay. The same thing as Romans. It is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living God. So all this supports the fact that we are not allowed, you don't have to think about it. If you got some grudge against somebody today, there's nothing you can do about it in terms of getting back at them. You can justify it all you want to, but it's no, don't do it. There are no exceptions. That's something you never have to think about or worry about, because you don't do it. You don't get back at somebody. Now, if a bully's beating you up, you can fight back. That's different. But after the cases, you can't come back up, behind the bully when he's somewhere and, hit him on the head. That's revenge. It's not a fair fight. Yeah.
I think all of these verses are kind of similar in a lot of ways.
Yep. They're all about revenge. That's
They're
why I
all about
put them.
revenge, but I think ultimately the whole message is kind of God is the one that is in control,
Yeah.
not us.
That's right.
Because we tend to be self-centered.
There are a few things I'd like to point out. Look at Genesis 4:15. That was one that you should have written down. And, this is about Cain. And Cain said, you know, Cain was exiled, and he said, what if somebody tries to kill me? And he says, God says, if anyone kills, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. Isn't that interesting? The first murderer was Cain.
No, it's interesting that, because he kind of deserves it.
He deserved it, just like we do.
Would that be justice then?
Well, he uses the word vengeance. If anyone kills, vengeance shall be taken on him. But for God, there's very little difference. For what God says, sometimes he'll take vengeance. He does everything justly. So it's all just. And if we did it, it would be vengeance. But he protected the first murderer. That shows you how patient he is. You talked about patience, somebody did earlier. Yeah. God is patient with us. If we got to be like God, we must be patient with other people. That's why we don't take revenge. Because God could bring a thunderbolt right down on him. All right, you're not going to do that anymore. You're not going to make fun of He doesn't do that. Why does he let him get away from it with it? Because he's patient. And we must be like God and be patient as well. I don't personally like that part. I don't like patience. Don't have a choice. He's trying to make us patient. Any other verses stand out to you? I would point out, look at Numbers 31:2. God said to Moses, avenge the people Israel on the Midianites. So God is asking Moses to be the avenger.
Oh, so like, meaning God ordained that task.
That's right.
So it's not Moses that's doing
That's
the,
right.
like, revenge.
It's not
God.
personal with Moses.
Right, it's personal with God.
Right. That's right. So, yeah.
If you do feel some type of anger, but you're not gonna act on it, will God let you, or will he just say, oh, this comes through me, not you?
Well, there are other ways to deal with that person other than do the same thing they did to you. It's not like you just completely ignore it. You can do that. Or you can go up to them and have a conversation. If they're a big bully, they're probably not gonna be listening to you. There are other people you can go to, like teachers and principals, and the next time he threatens you, you know, stand up. You know, if you have to defend yourself, you have to defend yourself. Now, that's an extreme case. I mean, that doesn't happen. Mostly people hurt your feelings and that kind of thing. But no, we're not supposed to get back Facebook revenge or whatever, social media revenge. People do it all the time, I'm sure, but as a believer, you can't.
My
What?
grandma made my dad go get a bike back from a bully, and she made him fight him in their front yard.
Say that again?
My grandma made my dad get his bike back from a bully, and she made them fight in the bully's front yard.
Yeah, there's now a big difference between.
That doesn't sound like revenge to me. It sounds like you have something that belongs to me, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
If you
and
hit
they
me,
did. He
I
got it
gotta
back.
get it back.
No surprise there.
Versus how we live.
Look at Isaiah 34:8.
I wish I could suck him.
Or just go on for an entire.
Look at Isaiah 34:8. Should be right in front of you. Everybody got that?
Isaiah 34:8?
Yeah.
I got that.
All right. Have you got it, Huck?
Yeah. For the Lord has a day of revenge, a year of retribution to uphold Zion's cause.
What does that tell us about revenge?
It tells us, so the Lord will take revenge on the day of judgment upon us.
So he's already planned the time.
The time.
It's not like, I'll get around to it. He's got on his calendar. He's got the exact day he's going to get ultimate revenge on his enemies. And he's not gonna do it a day sooner. Now, people do, there are other ways that revenge happens or justice happens. That's a different category we'll look at tomorrow, but he's got it planned.
And that would be like 777 or something, maybe not. Do you think it's like a meaningful date, or do you think he's just gonna put like November 12th?
Well, what did Jesus tell us? I'll come like a thief
In the night.
in other words, when does it thing, I'll be there
It's when
next
you least
Thursday.
expect it, like, have you ever heard that? Like,
That's
So
right.
you think it'll be on Christmas? I wouldn't expect it on Christmas.
Yeah, no, but
You give them Christmas, that'd be
the
great.
point is, he's coming when the bad guys least expect it, but you should expect it
Oh.
any minute now.
I see.
Night, at 12 o'clock tonight, tomorrow morning,
Right now.
He could come
something just,
anytime.
like, totally happens
That's right.
right now.
but he's not
Yeah.
telling us. You know, if he had come Wednesday, you wouldn't have had to take that test.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Newsflash, everyone, I'm
But
not
he didn't.
really an angel.
He didn't do it.
I'm sorry.
Let me see if there's anything else. I think that we've done several of the verses. You're only gonna need 3 or 4, but you're gonna need to know those 3 or 4. Let's see, vengeance is mine.
I will repay.
And, yeah, I'm just trying to think that God will do it. Deuteronomy 32:41, take a look at that. Anybody have it in front of you? Again, you wrote it down, Zach.
Deuteronomy 32:40.
Yeah.
When I sharpen,
Yeah,
Oh.
I sharpen my flashing sword, and my hand takes hold on judgment. I will take vengeance on my adversaries, and will repay those who hate me.
What does that tell you about this subject?
Well, my like version was a little different. It said that they'll carry out justice and bring vengeance on the enemies
Right?
who hate me.
Yeah, and again, when God does it, vengeance and justice, I think, are the same thing. But when we do it, there's a different.
So is this God?
Yes, I will take vengeance on who?
Those who hate me.
Those who hate me or my adversary. What does that tell you about this?
He's
About
protective of people who are with him.
Yes, and he's also got enemies. Did you know God has enemies? You may think you have an enemy, but you're in good company because God's got enemies too. And they're people that hate him. Can you imagine hating God, opposing God, and that's what people do, and he says, there's gonna be a day, and those who hate me, those who oppose me, those who work against me, I will take vengeance. Yeah.
oh shoot, I got really into what you were saying, but, I have a question. Can't we, though we are like human and obviously sinful, can't we bring justice though?
Well-
Because there are some just judgments that must be made in the context of obviously if someone murders my mother, I
You
mean.
gonna go get them?
Jeez.
No, I
I
don't
mean,
wanna
like,
go
send
get
it
them.
forward.
I'm not going to kill that person because they killed my mother, because that would be revenge. But isn't there that's why there's the justice
Right.
system.
What if
So-
what if you don't take it from a hate of heart? What if he kills what if someone kills your mom? What if you just this is justice over, my mother, and you really don't do it, and then you anger in your heart, you kill them back. Would that be revenge, or is it because?
But see, it's against even human law to do that. You're not
Oh,
allowed.
yeah, you're right, you're
You're
right.
not even allowed to kill the guy that, if you're in a fight and you shoot, he shoots and he dies, that's different.
I'm more
But
just meant
you're not allowed to go back next day and
But
shoot.
in God's law, would that be okay though?
No, because he's gonna take care of that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, my dad said there's a difference between killing and murder. Cause
Yeah.
killing in the self-defense or if you're in a war or something, it's kind of different
Yeah.
than just straight up murder.
what does the 10 Commandments say, number
Thou
6?
shalt not murder.
It does, to translate that word, the word may be kill, but it's really murder, and that's different from in war. Think about David, talk about blood on his hands. David was a warrior. He spent a lot of time killing people. Usually, he asked God first, do you want me to fight these people? And God say yes, you go do it. But there you go, war, if you're a soldier and know a soldier, they're gonna kill somebody. Some people just can't do that. I didn't have to make that decision. But that's different, because the prohibition is against murder, which is different than a fair fight.
like self-defense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that it goes down in more, but except for the fact when, I don't fully think that someone's like injured or, cause there's a law in war, like, you shouldn't kill, like, if someone is like
You
injured.
won't kill someone that's unarmed.
So I think that so if you kill someone in war that's unarmed and injured, then that is murder.
It's a war crime. They have war crimes and we prosecute people,
If
even in
someone-
military for that, or the military prosecutes themselves.
Pretty sure, that if you shoot, so if someone's parachuting and you're in a fighter jet and you shoot them down, then that's also a war crime. Shoot their-
Do they get prosecuted?
or
Probably
shooting-
not.
Shooting someone in
Yeah.
like if they were in
Yeah.
a jet and they had to eject, and shooting them down is a war crime.
Right?
Shooting their parachute.
Yeah, I mean, those things happen all the time, and do they get prosecuted? Probably not. Or, you know.
Track people in war, that seems like extremely hard to do,
Yeah.
since there's so much going
That's
on.
right, exactly, yeah.
I do not understand, like, I know a little bit about war, but, like, say, I'm just gonna use the example of like Bin Laden, like, because he was the leader of Al-Qaeda in the 9/11 attacks, we went after him, correct? We targeted him and we eventually got him. Would that be considered murder
Or justice.
Or justice, yeah, because he had attacked us, so we in
Yeah.
turn,
Well, who are you going, I mean, for you and me, Alex, we go to the police, we go to the district attorney, we go to lawyers, you know, we have a system. Who do you go to? Who does America go to? Hey, he killed 3,000. Who's America look? Who's the lawyer? Who's the judge that you go to in the world? There is none. There is no other way to do that except the way it was done. There's nobody gonna try Bin Laden.
But then, what's it called? It was after the war, so they figured.
Oh, they had the Nuremberg trials.
Well, the thing where, the something of nations,
Well, the United Nations, but the
United
League of
Nations.
Nations after
yeah,
World War I.
that stuff, they could go
They're
to them.
very ineffective. Yeah, you're right. Even there is something called a world court. But, you know, it's very political and
That's the
ineffective.
thing, like, everyone participates in it?
What's that?
Like, all nations participate?
No, that's why it doesn't work. Yeah,
Back to my question, I was saying, like, can we as humans have, like, justice almost, like, or like even, like, justice that is like fair almost, you know?
Well, that's a perfect transition to what we need to do tomorrow, because I prefer the justice discussion better, because there's so much to learn from that. So tomorrow, we'll start with justice. Meanwhile, you're thinking about Friday and what you're gonna write.
Should we start? Is it-
No, it'd be completely in class. You may use your notes. The problem, was it, Pilar mentioned, could we have your book with you? Didn't you mention that earlier? There are open book tests, but I'd much rather take a non-open book test, because when you get the open book test, you're gonna be asked harder questions.
And ones that'll be counted probably.
That's right. And so, plus, if you have the book open, you gotta find the answers. It takes time, so there's a lot. So we will focus this week, it's already Tuesday, so we'll prepare for Friday. So, I've got a grade those
What is
next week.
Friday's writing about? Justice?
Like,
Yeah.
is it due on Friday?
I haven't told you the exact topic yet, but, I mean, that's the topic.
Is it due on Friday?
You can do it in class.
So what's
break, then I have.
We do, That'd be great.
I have a game today too, I just can't have all of it.
I haven't told you, it'll be one or the other. You just need to know the scripture and know when to each other.